The lies and deceit have not resulted in any form of redemption. The person whom I thought to be my husband seemed like a complete stranger now. The following days felt like an absolute chaos. Nathan kept apologizing and tried explaining himself in the same manner repeatedly, stating that he opened the offsite account as a primary safety deposit in case I lost my job. However, I could not rest with the assumption that it was only that. I was at a loss. Everything felt as if it was spiraling out of control, and I was being engulfed in a world of bewilderment and betrayal. I certainly did not wish to destroy my family, but how could I stay with a man who had concealed such a huge detail from me? One evening, while sitting alone in our bedroom, Nathan entered the room. He looked exhausted and defeated. He has not been his normal self since the confrontation, and I can see how it has been affecting him, but I had long moved past the point of caring. He knelt in front of me and took my hands in his. I attempted to break free, but he pulled back. His gaze was pitiful. "I love you," he stated as his voice cracked, "but having hurt you, I understand that it is not worth your forgiveness. Please, I know my desires have had terrible consequences, but understand that the only reason for it was to protect what we love most, our family." Nathan spoke, and with every statement it strained my heart more. "You ever for once considered the emotional damage your lies have done to me? Did you consider how considering this life was never unearthing hidden parts of your life was going to affect your marital trust with me? Why should I ever put my faith in you again? Just help me out. My understanding of the marital trust we had shattered into pieces is too much," he pleaded. "I am ready to go the extreme length of transferring the money back, closing the account, or even providing you with unfiltered access to all my devices. Just give me a chance." I struggled to blink with the tears rolling down my eyes that were gazed wide open while shaking my head in disapproval. "What on earth makes you think this is knowing me and cherishing our life is ruining finances? It's incredibly worrying that you refuse to accept that the horror that has been built from a house of cards can be dealt with built on trust." "I'm sorry, Lena. I never meant to," he muttered, reluctantly loosening his grasp. "I reserved for controlling everything as losing you meant losing a lifetime of love and happiness." My eyes went dark as a wailing note escaped my lips. "You already have, Nathan. You lost me the moment you chose to hide this from me." What lay ahead for us was uncertain. Nathan was half right. Our lives were indeed in shambles. The existence of the offshore account was just one symptom of a deeper issue in our marriage. A problem I didn't know was there until this very moment. During the subsequent days, I consulted a lawyer. I had to figure out the options available to me. For all his begging, Nathan had crossed a line that I wasn't sure could be rehabilitated. Yet, while sitting in the lawyer's office and explaining the situation, I felt remorse wash over me. This wasn't the life I had hoped for. This definitely isn't the marriage I had pledged to sustain. On the other hand, Nathan tried his best to make things right. He transferred the money back into our joint account, closed the offshore account, and stripped himself off any control he had over the finances. He was attempting to demonstrate to me that he was willing to take steps towards fixing the damage he had caused, yet my trust on him was already broken. My heart sank as I saw the children's confusion. It was almost impossible for them to comprehend why their parents had changed so drastically. Their shielded-up reality left much to be desired, revealing much more than what I could show them at that moment. Divorce is gruesome, but somehow the prospect of it fell into a category that was easier to cope with compared to filing for divorce and attempting to reconstruct my life devoid of Nathan. So, would I attempt to salvage whatever part of us was left? Through honesty, I would always prefer an alternate route if escaping meant strolling down a road paved with ease, where savoring the identity did not warrant burdening revelation through speech. Understanding their whole suffering stemmed from the truth finally released shocked me to my core, but going on further, I decided their servitude was not my concern. My husband and I commenced counseling, individually and jointly. The onslaught of emotions coupled with years neglected stewed up, containing shelter to unresolved fears did bring agony, but it was blissful in some ways. To top it all off, he was not only concealing these emotions from me, but on a much deeper level concealing them from himself. Why? Because simply possessing a goal as drastic as financial disaster was never spearheaded by just one singular motive. Gradually, we started to put the pieces back together like a puzzle. After all, trust can be likened to a delicate piece of glass which is fragile and quite easy to break. Even when I wanted to walk away on certain days, the anger and betrayal always threatened to consume me. However, I also had moments of clarity where I remembered what attracted me to Nathan in the first place. It is not a conclusive ending, but at least it is a start. a chance for us to reframe and redefine our marriage. While deeply scarred by the past, I still feel relieved that we can slowly strip away the web of lies and deceit that made it all so troublesome. While learning to let his guard down, Nathan learned that he did not have to hide behind a barrage of deceitful lies. Likewise, I came to the realization that I am able to let go of my idealistic view of a perfect marriage. Even if we were far from perfect, we still were a family trying to piece together the fragments of our new, messy life. Whether it be marriage or life itself, there is no possible way to anticipate the future. All that we can do is live in the now. For the time being, I can proudly say that we are still surviving together, and I feel that should be more than enough. My sister surreptitiously saved and sold a family business without my consent. Now I am left broke. Throughout my life, family business was the one constant. Bennett & Sons had been a well-known chain of home decor stores for 3 generations. My grandfather built it all from scratch, which was later expanded by my father. When my father passed away 5 years ago, he left the responsibilities of the business to my sister Claire and I. What is surprising is that my sister has sold the family business without my consent. Claire and I had different approaches attuning to the business, which often led to arguments while working together. Our shared passion for the company helped us overcome those differences. It was not just a childhood memory, it was something we cherished. The family business gave us purpose. The store was where we spent our weekends and holidays, helping our father stock registers and shelves. The business was in our blood. Dad trusted us to run the business and divided the shares equally after his demise. We had a family business pact that was clearly defined by my father. Emphasizing the importance of family, we were meant to work together, something which I seemingly forgot. That is what I thought. We have been together through this journey for many years. I personally organized day-to-day operations, which included store and employee management. Everything worked like it was supposed to. Claire, from her side, used her business degree to market the company and finance it while also ensuring that the ever-evolving economy didn't negatively impact us. It wasn't ideal, but we coped. In the end, we supported each other, had disagreements, resolved them, and pushed forward. But then something started to change. Claire grew apart from me, showing disinterest in the day-to-day operations. She would suggest that we sell the company since the market was changing, and it might be better to cash out than to stick around. I was not in agreement with her views. I truly think that as long as we worked synergically, we could tackle anything. To me, the business was more than just a workplace. It was an integral part of our family's identity. I assumed that we reached a consensus and were on the same page on the topic. Sadly, I was quite mistaken. Following our channel guarantees you will never miss any updates because you will be able to access interesting stories at your convenience. Unfortunately, if you're not subscribed, those stories will be permanently lost to you. When everything fell apart was a normal Monday morning. Upon arriving at the main store in my vicinity, I was greeted with an abnormal peace and quiet. I then noticed that employees were cuddled in small groups and gossiping whilst appearing very anxious. I was confused and walked inside only to meet Marcy, our store manager, to try and make sense of it all. "What's going on?" I said while a tightness settled in my stomach. You completely zoned out, haven't you?" was the reply I got as she remained silent.